if I told you the biggest marketing breakthrough in your travel business isn't a trend? It's a tool you're probably not using to its full potential. Today on the Compass Conversations, I'm joined by tech visionary Ka Lee, a marketing and AI expert who's been shaping the digital landscape since the days of the early Google ads and Meta's first algorithms. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by AI or social media, or maybe even unsure how to stand out in a noisy world, this episode is your roadmap. Kaz here to break it all down and show you how to own your digital space. Ka, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. I am so super excited to talk to you because, of course, there is so much talk right now about AI technology, all the changes that are taking place in the world, let alone our industry. But before we jump into that, tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, you work for some big names, Google,
I
Facebook, I think. Like,
I have. I've been around, right? I mean, I'm gonna give away my age. I'm 52, right? Been a marketing technologist for the better half of 35 years, maybe a little bit longer. Actually started off as a music photographer for Rolling Stone, believe it or not.
ooh, so
Yeah, but I
cool.
was I was 17 and 18 when I did that. But I love tech. I think tech to me is really my bread and butter. It always has been. We talked about COVID, and what it did for travel. For me, during COVID, I was on the opposite spectrum. I worked in shipping and logistics and e-commerce. At the time I was doing projects for Amazon, Shopify, USPS, and so for me, I was on the complete opposite end of COVID. I was on the end where these guys were printing billionaires, every 3 days. They didn't know what to do with their
Wow.
money. It was ridiculous. So for me to get introduced to travel, that was really eye-opening. And in a lot of ways, it steered me. In a lot of ways, it made me take it very personal because I knew at that point what advisors had to go through. So it changed a lot for me when I saw that. But yeah, me personally, I'm a marketing technologist.
Yeah. So how did you get introduced to the travel? So we got the whole tech, logistics. How'd you end up in this travel
So
space?
So, Candace, who was my partner at the time, I'll tell you what, I ran startups for a living, and everybody knew if you wanted to find me, you had to find me. And I have 5 RVs. I was always in the national park. I was always tracking wolves or somewhere. So all you had was the latitude, longitude for my coordinates. That was it. So if anyone wanted to find me and talk shop, this is how I vetted people. If you wanted to find me and talk shop, you had to find me and talk shop. So you'd have to call Candace. You'd have to find the nearest airport, where to get a rental car. So she was really good at putting people's, travel itineraries together. And I think it was January of 2020. We jumped in one of our sprinters and we packed for 2 days. We ended up being gone for like 10 weeks. We ended up being on the 101 in Oregon. And Candace turned to me and said, I think I want to be an advisor. So I was actually dragged into it. Candace wanted to be a travel advisor. And one day she came back from an event and she was like, hey, how bad is my industry behind? And I was like, yeah, go pull up a chair. You know, and that was it. That was it. She asked if I would call a company she was working with. I was in Cabo 3 days later keynoting. And then I was on a ship within 10 days doing a FAM. Then I was at the consortia level doing keynotes. And now, I mean, I just came back from 2 months on the road doing back-to-back FAMs from the national parks all the way to
All
the
right.
Mekong. Yeah, in Vietnam. Yep.
Outstanding. Well, welcome to the industry where you immediately get hooked. I tell you, it's this industry is absolutely amazing. I've spent over 20 plus a lot of years here myself, and I can tell you nobody ever leaves. Like, we stick around until we absolutely can't travel and go anymore. So welcome to, I have to tell you, it's an amazing industry. You already have the travel bug, so it's only gonna get worse. So
Oh, we'll see.
so let's talk about AI. I mean, like you said, different travel conferences, you're speaking all over the world, different places. Your name is the hot new name in our space. So, what's up with AI? Why is it important for travel advisors? And Everybody's going to ask, is going to make travel advisors extinct?
I love AI. Here's the way I look at AI. To me, a lot of people view it as magic, right? And it's not magic. It's literally curious people using new tools. That's all AI is. It's curious people
Love that explanation.
using new tools. But the first thing everyone has to get over is you got to get over fighting it because you're not going to win, right? I mean, you look at the speed of which people adopted OpenAI and ChatGPT. Or I think it took Netflix 3.5 years to hit a million users. It took Airbnb 2.5 years to hit a million users. It took Facebook 10 months to hit a million users. It took Instagram 3 months. It took ChatGPT 5 days. It took it 5 days.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
unbelievable.
ChatGPT hit 100 million users in 47 days. So when you think about it, it's not going anywhere. It's the same as email. It's the same as, it's the same as all the tech that came before it, right? I mean, it's the reason why we don't go to Blockbuster and we stream videos. It's the natural progression of things. I think the hardest thing for an advisor is, and it's weird, right? It's a mindset. You kind of have to get out of your own way and you have to understand that this thing does certain things better than you, right? Like for ChatGPT, you look at the amount of data it's been trained on, a couple of trillion documents, whatever. Neither you nor I are never going to read a trillion documents, much less understand how the words fit together, right? This thing can. So if you learn to leverage it that way, that's how I always feel about it, right? I like to tell advisors it's pretty simple. I got this saying that I tell them. If there's a thing that does the same thing over and over again, someone is most likely building an AI to do that thing. So if you
Mhm.
make your thing custom and unique to you, then no one's going to build an AI to replace your thing, right? So for me, it's about thought leadership. You got to have value. You got to have thought leadership. You can leverage AI to build that thought leadership. It is not hard, but ultimately, it's your partner, not your replacement. That's basically what it is. You can scale it. You can get your time back. I think a lot of advisors they get into the game and they're like, "Oh yeah, watch this. I'm going to be my own boss." Blah blah blah. No, you're not. You're gonna end up working for your clients at 2 in the morning. You all
Yeah,
screwed up,
right.
right? And I love the fact that ChatGPT can give you your time back.
So tell me, how can this AI partner add value to my life? Like, as a travel advisor, is it going to help me put together custom itineraries? Like, is it going to help me write press releases if I need to make a new announcement? What would you do? What do you advise? I mean, for somebody who's just heard Chat GPT, Perplexity, just heard these things mentioned on the news, right?
Right, right.
AI user for the first time, what do you use? Which one would you go to first? And give us a scenario as a travel advisor how you would use it to make your life easier and be convinced AI is a great partner for you.
I think first and foremost, everyone goes to ChatGPT first. It's got the biggest name, it's out there, it was the first one to launch, so everyone automatically defaults to ChatGPT. It gets the most TV coverage, all of that, right? It is so good at ideation. That's what I like to tell everyone. A
Mhm.
lot of people believe, oh yeah, this is the death of creativity. It's the complete opposite. AI enables creativity. It enables ideation and creativity, right? And a lot of people don't understand that word ideation. Ideation is the process of creating ideas. ChatGPT is really, really, really good at it. It's really good at marrying ideas that you never knew could be married together. I'll give you an example of that. The other day, and I free flow. When I prompt, I kind of free prompt. Everybody knows if you get me at a conference and I'm in front of a computer on a stage and I'm free prompting, that's when all heck breaks loose, right? Because I'm just gonna prompt whatever I feel. But I was on a ship probably about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I said, I said it's really good at marrying ideas. I said, here we are at the start of football season, right? I said, I bet you I can get this thing to go look at every single AMA Waterways itinerary and relate each one of their itineraries to a position on a football team, and it did it, and it did it. I simply told I've done it at Universal, I've sat there and I said, "Hey, you know what? Can you take every single famous spell in all the Harry Potter movies, and can you rewrite those spells to make you take a vacation at Universal?" And it did it. You know,
Wow.
I don't know those things. I'm not good at putting those together. ChatGPT is very good at marrying ideas. So I use it to newsjack. Newsjacking is when I take something that's going to be popular in the news for a week and I play off it. So, like, if it's the Golden Globes, I will sit there and I will tell ChatGPT, "Hey, I need you to look at my Holland America cruises, right? And I need you to relate each one of these itineraries to a Golden Globe or an Avalon cruise." And it will do it. It will sit there and it will say, "Okay, so for best supporting actor or for best supporting scenery or for best supporting adventure, you want to take this cruise and this cruise." And it'll do it. So,
I love it.
yeah, so that part of ideation, people need to understand that this thing is really good at that, you know?
So
It
were
is. It's
you
just
like
really good.
you talked about freestyle kind of, I love the term when you use that. Well, like, were you like a freestyle rapper too? Because like the way you have, like turn this into AI.
Yeah, I talk to this thing all the time. I mean, that's what I do. I put it into voice mode and I just chat with it. I just tell it, "Hey, look, I got this project. I gotta get this going. What are you gonna do?" So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool. The other thing I love about it, it has no human bias. Like
yeah,
there's nothing you can do. We are a product of our experiences, right? So like no matter what you see, that's what happens. This is a machine. It
yeah.
literally has no bias. So when
Nice.
we get an email from someone who's mad at us, we sit there and we're like, "Oh, man, we probably spend 10 minutes going, I wonder what they're mad about. What are they trying to say?" Right? And AI can read through that really quickly and be like, "Hey, here's the bullet points of what they're really mad about. They're mad because you promised something, you didn't get it. They're mad because you made them look bad in front of their friends because they told their friends they were gonna get this on the cruise, and you don't realize that." And then the next prompt I can say to it is, "Okay, perfect. Why don't you go ahead and write me a response showing that I have deep understanding of their concerns, but stop short of an apology." And it'll do it.
And how long is that going to take?
And it'll do it probably under 30 seconds.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I love that about AI as well. I love the ideation. I love just putting in a few thought prompts, right? And telling it to help you think out, come up with a strategy, like you said, write a response, whatever it is. AI is truly your partner, it's truly your friend. I mean, it has revolutionized the way I do business. And when I think about so many people that are on this call that are in business for themselves, as we talked about, most of them are small business owners. So, how do you become more efficient? How do you maximize your time? AI is truly there to help with that. But if I had to ask you, what do you recommend as don't ever do this with AI? How much of your personal information, I don't mean things like social security number, but if I'm like, okay, I need to write an email to Ka because he has really ticked me off
Mhm.
today. Would you put Ka's name in there, or did you just put Bobby so it
You
doesn't
know,
read who you're talking about?
That's exactly what you do. It's called delimiters. Anytime you're working with any kind of personal information, it's called a delimiter. I'll either delimit or limit that information, or I'll put in dummy intel, right? So someone else's name, something that does this and that, and that's all I'll do. But that's also an education thing. That's one of those things where that's the other part I see about the industry is say, hey, how come no one's teaching this, right?
Mhm.
Because that's the thing, right? You've got a lot of suppliers out there, and you got a lot of other big brands that are like, "Okay, guys, you know what our general rule is? You can't use AI." Man, have you ever told a kid they can't do something, right? Like, if you just do a hard stop and you tell people, "You can't use this," everyone's gonna use it, right? When instead, just get ahead of it. Just tell people, "Hey, here's what you can and cannot do with this." Like, as an advisor, don't ever upload something that a BDM gave you or something that's like a hidden cost sheet, right? Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. But if you don't tell an advisor that, they don't know that. You literally
Right.
have to tell them, "Hey, look, this PDF that a BDM gave you about these hidden costs and these hidden prices, you can't upload it, right? You
Don't
can't
upload
upload
it
it."
to AI.
Yeah, you can't upload it to a ChatGPT, but the average advisor doesn't know that, so they do it.
Ah. So if they upload it, there's a chance somebody else is looking for something similar with that information, and AI is going to spit it back out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If they upload it and I knew exactly what to prompt it, I can get it to
You
tell
can
me.
get it. You can
I
get
can
it.
totally get
What
it to tell
about
me.
like you have this cool idea that you want to patent and you tell AI about it, right? Is it just your idea anymore, or is AI going to tell? So is AI that friend who can't keep a secret?
No, I think it can actually, you know what I mean? Like so I have temporary chats always turned on. I don't ever use the memory feature inside ChatGPT. So it doesn't know me as well as I want it to know me, but I don't need it to know me because of the way I use it to teach. I never want it to think how Kaz this crazy guy that keeps putting in the same prompt every day. I put in the same prompt because I'm teaching people live on how to use it, right? If you turn on memory, it is so good at learning about you. It's
Hmm.
so good, it's almost scary, right? If you don't turn on memory and you use only temporary chats, and it's also if you pay for the pro version, right? If you pay the 20 bucks a month, if you pay the business version, you can actually set up a chat GPT where it's not allowed train itself on anything that you talk about or upload. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this that are really cool. There's also the feature to run an AI locally on your computer that doesn't even connect to the internet. So when you're doing it that way, oh, you can do whatever you want. That thing's just running on your computer. It's not connecting and talking to a server. It's not doing any of that. It's just locally on your computer. So there are a lot of ways to get around that. But again, most 99.999% of people have no idea that exists.
Right,
They just know, oh, I'm just gonna go to ChatGPT and start talking to it, right?
right.
Yeah, you can do that all you want, but it is hard to pull information from it. That's what I want everyone to know. If you talk about a really good idea, the other person would need to sit there and know how to prompt engineer it to get it to spit ideas that other people have talked to them about. That's not easy.
That's good to know. So, Kai, when I think about, travel advisors want to know how do they use AI to help grow their business? Is there anything you would use AI for in terms of marketing to bring back customers? Is there a way to use AI to drive customers to your email inbox, to your website, to ring your phone? Like, is there a secret?
So I teach this. This is a crazy thing. A lot of people have not seen me teach this live because you have to have OpenAI on your desktop. I'm on a Mac. So if I'm on an Apple computer, I can actually download the OpenAI app, right? And it has what's called vision. It can do screenshots. So I train advisors, and this is really simple. Anytime you make any kind of social media post, the whole secret is you have to get them to comment. Because if you get them to comment, every comment is a soft lead. Every single comment
Mhm.
is a soft lead, right? And the crazy part is ChatGPT is really good at replies. It's a lot better than we are at replies. So I can sit there, make a post on Facebook, have all these replies, right? I can either take a screenshot of my replies or I can just turn on Vision while I'm on my desktop and say, hey, help me write a reply for each one of these comments that will drop people into my funnel by getting the original poster to send me a DM, and it'll do it. It'll do
Awesome.
it better than you and I do it, right? So it's like because we don't know any better, right? It's like most advisors when they make a post, somebody will make a comment and it'll say something like, "Oh yeah, that's on my bucket list," right? And then the advisor stops. They're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, let me just click the like button." Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
So what if you're an advisor and you don't have a lot of followers? How can you can post all day long? You're not going to get a bunch of comments.
You can, but that's the thing. That's another part of AI, right? Like, so there's this whole other part of AI that I love to death, and that is AI recommendations, right? Like, you look at Meta. We'll work with Meta, right? We'll work with Meta, which is
Right.
Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. But the truth of the matter is, doesn't matter if it's Meta, doesn't matter if it's TikTok, doesn't matter if it's LinkedIn, doesn't matter if it's YouTube. Every single one of these platforms shares about 99% of the same algorithm. All of them share
Mhm.
99% of the same algorithm. And that algorithm actually does things you don't realize. That algorithm actually favors a smaller creator that has higher engagement than a larger creator. So even way back, I think last year, August 2024, Facebook started rolling out this update. And the update was simple. How do I get a smaller creator with 100 followers to reach the same amount of people as someone with 10,000 followers, right? So the algorithm's perfectly written that way. It's purposely written that way to do it. When I teach, and a lot of your listeners who have had access to me will know this right off the bat, right? Even when I'm at Universal, right? And I can activate advisors live on stage, I can take the average advisor and I can increase their reach over a span of 7 days, and I'm not kidding you, by a bare minimum of 5,000%. Simply 5,000, that's a big number, right? That's not 500, that's not 5, that's not 100. That's 5,000%, right? But it's knowing what account to have, and it's knowing that, hey, if you have this particular account, you are going to be recommended. Because right now, that's what people don't realize. People think, oh, it's all social media. I don't even call these things social media platforms. I believe that every platform we're talking about is a distribution platform, just like radio, just like a podcast, right? Because it's AI recommendations. The same way that a YouTube video gets recommended to someone, it is no different, right? If you think this is social, you've got another thing coming because if I fire up my Facebook app today, I guarantee you that probably 62% of my newsfeed is AI recommendations. People who I have no idea who in the world they are. If I go to Instagram, that number is close to 72%. 72% of my newsfeed is made up of people who I have no idea who they are. They're called unconnected accounts. It is all driven by AI recommendations. That's what it is. So if you are an advisor and you know how to create content that holds value, you're going to grow your follower count. You're going to grow them. But that's the hard part. The hard part is advisors need to understand, oh, I can't just post things and hope that it sticks, right? I actually have to have a game plan. I actually have to sit there and say, what would I have liked for someone to have shared with me? Like, if they can do that, it's gold. It's absolute gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, the crazy thing is you could do nothing but go on cruise ships for the rest of your life. I'm not kidding. You could do nothing but go on cruise ships and do nothing but do reels of the buffet and you would kill it. You would kill it. You
This
could
is
do
true. I can
nothing.
see that.
You would kill it. You'd get so much reach, it's stupid. Like,
Yeah.
you could do nothing but the dessert section every night of the week, the bread section every night of the week, and you would kill it. I had an advisor with me just 2 weeks ago go on a ship and do nothing but the coffee station on a river ship, right? A
Yeah.
coffee station. They're at like 75,000 views.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
It's what
awesome.
people
So,
wanna see.
all right, with AI, social media, all this stuff, you know, the advisor who's working at home, solo advisor, how do they manage all this? What tool do you use? Because, okay, now I got to post to Facebook, got to post to Instagram, I got to post to TikTok, I got to post to YouTube. Now, oh, and if it's TikTok, don't do this. But if it's Instagram, do that. And don't forget this algorithm for this one, and that one. Hell, what platform, what tool, single, if you were to name one that helps to manage all the social media platforms, that can give guidance, that is in the know, and that can help. What is it?
So there isn't one.
You are the god of AI, the technology. Come on, technologists, like, come
So
on.
there isn't one, and the reason there isn't
What?
one is because everyone's audience is different. So if you are a younger advisor and your audience is mostly TikTok, I'm gonna tell you to go to TikTok. If you are a younger advisor and you do theme parks, oh, you're Instagram all day. I'll tell you that right now. You're Instagram all day. If you're an older advisor and you're doing a lot of river cruising, you are not on TikTok. You're on Facebook, straight up,
Yeah.
all day long. So the first thing you have to realize is where do I fit, right? Once you fit, there are tools you can use. But there's no tool that you want to use that posts on everything and that helps you post on everything because honestly, you're trying to build an audience. You're trying to talk to somebody. So that's the first thing you got to realize is where is my audience? If my audience is on Instagram, perfect. I'm going to post on Instagram all day. If my audience is on Facebook, perfect. I'm going to post on Facebook all day. But you have to at least get to that step first. So you really got to look inward and say, where is my audience? Like, where are they seeing me? But that's absolutely true. If you're river ship, you're on Facebook all day long. If you're a little bit skewing an older demographic, you're on Facebook all day long, all day long. Theme parks skew heavily Instagram. They skew very, very, very heavily Instagram. So you'll see me go there first. Once I know where I'm at, oh, 100%. If I'm on a meta platform, this is the smartest thing you could ever do, right? If I'm on a meta platform, Instagram or
Mhm.
Facebook, you're probably going to see me use Meta AI. You're probably going to see me use Facebook AI instead of ChatGPT to say, hey, what are the most engaging posts you've seen? Hey, what are the most engaging hooks you've seen that have kept people past the 3 seconds? It's going to tell you. It's literally going to tell you. So, so I love that aspect of it. Once you know, it's really good. The hard part is you have to know what to prompt, right? You have to know that, in this day and age, like here's the crazy thing about Facebook, TikTok, everybody, hooks, right? You never had to talk about hooks 3 years ago. Now everyone's got to talk about hooks because if you can't keep people viewing your content for 3 seconds, you're done. You're a goner. Nothing's going to help you. So you got to have a good hook to do that, right? Influencers and creators, they're hook native. Their mains, they think about hooks. Advisors, oh god, there's not a single advisor thinks about a hook. I can promise you that, right? An advisor will make a post, and an advisor's post will be like, "Hey, don't forget to book your excursions early," right? You can't do that. You need to start thinking in terms of hooks. You need to sit there and say, "Hey." So if an advisor made a post that said, "I almost lost $250 not doing this," then that's a hook. Then someone's sitting there going, "What do you mean? Like, what did you not do?" "I didn't book my excursion early, so I paid more." Right? Like, those
Hmm.
are the hooks. So you gotta start thinking in reverse. But honestly, I mean, if I had to give you tools, the first tool I give you is ChatGPT or Meta AI. The
Yeah.
second biggest tool I give everyone is gonna be Edit. It's the Edit app. When it comes to creating content, nothing is going to help you create content, I think, quicker and better, especially in a meta platform, than the Edit app. It's not that new. It's been out for about 6 to 7 months. I mean, I've been training advisors on it for a good 6 months now, but a few months ago during the great 12-hour TikTok outage, right? It's like, ByteDance knew they were going to take
Yeah.
TikTok down. And I really didn't care about TikTok. I was like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, they played a game. ByteDance took CapCut down and everybody tripped out. Everybody was like, "Well, I don't care about TikTok, but what am I gonna do now? You took CapCut away, right? Like,
Yeah.
how am I gonna edit my videos, right?" And it shocked everyone. It shocked Facebook. Facebook sat there internally and said, "They just took CapCut down. What are we gonna do? We need to write an app right now." So they had a hackathon. They called their top engineers in and they said, "Hey, we're gonna do our own content creation app," and it's called Edit. The thing about edits is if you use edits to make your posts, you get additional reach automatically simply by using edit. Because how do you think that platform is going to grow its followers? It's going to grow usage by giving people who use that platform more reach. So, and they've already gone public and said this. Again, something that I teach, but Instagram's already gone public and said, yes, it's true. If you use edits to post your content, we give you more reach. So be
All
it, right?
right.
So
That is
that's
a valuable nugget right
it
there.
is, it is. It's a huge and I'm talking like 25% more reach. So, why you wouldn't do it is ridiculous. Edits also has something most people don't. Now, here's the crazy part, it's also free to use, right? You
Mm.
download it, it's free to use. But the AI that's built into edits is absolutely ridiculous for free. I can upload any still image into edits, and I can hit the animate with AI, and it will make my image move. It will make it into a movie. So if
Wow.
I take a picture of the waves, right, it'll make the waves move. Yeah, it's crazy. If I spell something in the sand and I take a photo of it, it will make the wave come in and wash that away. So and it's free. It's free, right? Yeah, if I don't like the way my voice sounds, I can sit there and type in what I want it to say and then use one of the AI voices already in the app that will do the talking for me. It does
Wow.
that also. So those are the 2 tools. I mean, those are really the tricks of my trade. The tricks of my trade are ChatGPT. I default to ChatGPT more than anything else, and I use edits, and I train on edits massively. Because the thing about edits is no matter how much someone hates making content, they all love using edits. So it did exactly what Facebook needed it to do. They didn't need it to be better than CapCut. That's going to take time, right? But in the time that they've released edits, edits has an update every night. There's been 88 updates since it came out like 4 months ago. So they're rolling out updates constantly every night, and all the updates are really, really good. But ultimately, you can post within Instagram or Facebook using edits. So it's a great tool. It doesn't watermark. So you can actually download your video, post to TikTok or YouTube. It doesn't penalize you. So it's really neat. That's why I think
Aw-
that's going to be the tool for me.
Wow. Awesome. So, Kai, when I think about, of course, we are a travel audience and we all love traveling. So, if I am your genie and I gave you only one wish of anywhere you could go in the world, where are you going? What are you drinking? And what's on your playlist when you get there?
Oh, that's tough, right? Like, for me personally, that's the weird thing about me, and I always said I was perfect for travel. I'm the perfect guy for the travel industry because you cannot bribe me with travel. I have 5 RVs. I'm a national park guy. I'm completely content in my Sprinter van with dual Starlinks tracking wolves in Yellowstone. So, believe it or not, if I could go anywhere, yeah, it would literally be back to a national park. I would, and that's crazy, right? Because there's so much that I can see in the world, and I've been so grateful, and I've had the pleasure of going everywhere, right? Again, this last little trip I just took, oh my gosh, I think I was on the Danube, and then I came home for 3 days. Then I did the national park tour for Globus. I hit all the national parks.
Uh-huh.
Then I flew straight from LA to the Mekong to Cambodia, did that. Then I flew straight to Tokyo. So that's the runs that I do. I do these massive, and next week I'm going to be in South Africa. So I do these massive runs, but I would still rather be in a national park in a
Is there a
Sprinter van.
favorite national park that
Yeah,
you like to
I
sleep
think
in
it's gonna
and
be
get?
Yellowstone. I do love Yellowstone a
Yellowstone?
lot. Yeah, I do love Yellowstone. I love Yellowstone for the wildlife. I love every other national park because of the hiking, and I'm an avid mountain biker, but I do love Yellowstone for the peace, the nature of it. Here's the strange thing about me people don't realize. Every single AI lesson that I've ever written for the travel industry has never, ever been written in my office. Every single AI lesson I've ever written has been in a national park. I'm either in a national
Awesome.
park, but somewhere or another, I'm underneath the stars and I'm writing about the future. I do not do it in an office. I'm relentless when it comes to that balance. So for me, yeah, it's in a national park, it's drinking coffee, and it's probably watching a wolf pack if I'm lucky enough to see them, right? Because there's something
Oh,
about that nature that balances what I do for a living, which is AI, right?
yeah.
Like if you're entrenched in it the whole time, you're screwed. If Yeah, I really believe that.
Yeah, I can
It's
see that.
it's
Yeah.
wild. It's wild. So for me, I like that balance of it.
Well, Ka, I have to tell you, this has been absolutely amazing. I mean, the information you provided to our travel advisor audience is just immeasurable. I can see in so many ways how it will enhance their business, enhance their day to day lives. So, thank you so much. So, tell our audience, how can they find you?
You know what? It's the weird thing again too. Everybody knows this about me. It's crazy. Every company sits there and tries to find me, and I make it so hard. It's like it's how I naturally vet people, right? But
Yeah.
it's on. What, guys? Search my name on Facebook.
All
It's
right.
don't send me a friend request because I'm always having to like Hunger Games people, right? Like I find myself at 2:30 in the morning, scrolling the wheel of death, unfriending someone because 200 people friend requested me and I ran out of space, right? So just
Uh,
yeah, right? Just follow my page. It's the easiest thing to do. But I do want to leave it at that. Just know that AI is actually your friend. That's the crazy thing. If you understand that, you're gonna be just fine. Understand that it can give you your time back. Understand that it can help you with ideation, creativity. Understand that it can scale you. I'll leave everybody at this. I actually have a golden rule called the 20-60-20 rule. And I've never, ever told anybody this even in lesson plans and definitely not on a podcast, but I'm totally gonna give it away right now. Now I'm second guessing myself thinking, "Do I really wanna
come
give this
on, tell
away?"
it, tell it. You already put
Now
it
it's
out
like,
there.
I'm
Let's
literally
go.
I'm literally thinking like, "Do I really wanna put this out there?" But but I do have something. It is called my 20-60-20 rule, and basically it means this. It's a golden rule to make sure that you always stay in charge when letting an AI save you hours of wasted effort or frustration, right? Basically what it means is this: the first 20%, that's ideation. That's your job. That's your job. You have to at least know what you want this thing to do for you.
Right.
The 60%, the execution, the heavy lifting, oh, that's ChatGPT's job. Let it do all that research for you. And then the last 20%, the editing, that's your job again. So basically, you're the visionary, you're the
Mhm.
final editor. But
Yeah.
ChatGPT handles 60% of everything you need to do in the middle. And you've got to learn to do that. You have to do it. It is all about high speed, always on assistance. I tell everybody, right? It's your creative sparring partner. It's like this little guy that sits on your shoulder that says, "Ah, I think it's a good idea, Ka," right? Or, "No, I think that's an awful idea, Ka." But you got to use it because it's getting to the point now to where you can see that divide. You can see the ones that are using it, and you can see the ones that aren't using it. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't have said that to an audience, you know, a year ago. I even if I thought about it already, I still would have never said that. But I see it today. The ones that are using it are able to scale content creation, where the ones that
Absolutely.
aren't are sitting there going, "What should I post?" Right? Like, can't do that. Can't do that anymore. Those days are over. You've got to learn to use it because and here's the last thing I'll leave you with. You gotta understand that AI would not even exist had it not been for content. There would be no AI
Right.
if there was no content. If there was no content to train an AI on, there would be no AI. So as AI accelerates, how do you think this is all gonna play out? As AI accelerates, AI only cares about one thing, whoever feeds it. And it only eats one thing, content. So if you don't create content, you become irrelevant. Like, it's really going to happen. It's gonna sit there and it's gonna say, "Well, I don't know who this person is because they've never fed me. They've never fed me." You know? And I see that now. So it's a change I want
Wow.
everyone to embrace. Yep.
Wow. The amazing words of wisdom on AI from Ka. Thank you so much, Ka, for being here with us today. So, if you've been waiting for a sign to stop fearing AI and stop using it, this was it. A huge thank you to Ka Lee for breaking down the future of digital marketing in a way that's not only smart, but doable for every travel advisor. If this episode gave you clarity, courage, and a creative spark, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with another advisor who's ready to step into the future of travel marketing. This is the Compass Conversations, and I'm your host, Denella Ri'chard. Here is where insight meets action. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward.